Hello curious soul, and welcome to my very first vlog. My husband and I traveled for a weekend trip to Washington DC from Arizona on a special occasion because our friends got married and we traveled across the country to participate. I thought I would take you along and create a tiny little vlog for this amazing weekend, and I really hope that you'll enjoy it. We got up around 3 or 4:30, got ready and left the house by 5:30 on our way to the airport, which was decorated in Halloween decorations. Waiting for our plane, we had a good time just walking around and looking at everything. The travel was surprisingly smooth. I think that was one of the easiest travels I've ever had. Our luggage didn't get lost and it was just super easy. I was really lucky to be sitting by the window almost the entire time. We had one layover, got a coffee really quickly there, waiting for the next plane to depart. And when we arrived in DC, after a very pleasant travel, we took an Uber to our hotel. There we were greeted by a welcome bag from our friends who were about to get married with super delicious candy from both of their hometowns, so it was even more special. We went out for dinner and grabbed my favorite dish, which is pad see ew. Walked around a little bit in DC. Just being there felt like we never left because we used to live in DC for quite a while and we had really missed going out and just being around because DC is just a vibe. It's just, DC. The next morning I got up super early to catch the sunrise. And I met one of my wonderful Instagram community friends, Angela, and we met for a yoga morning sunrise flow. So during the morning golden hour, we went to the monuments in DC and created some really beautiful content there, and I was so lucky to finally meet her because we've been getting along amazingly. It was just so much fun to finally meet someone you can share your hobbies with. So I think we spent like 7 hours just in the morning from I don't even know, 5:30 or 6 a.m. to noon, just flowing and just being completely in our element and having the best time. I was pretty much already sore while we were doing yoga because we did it for so long, and we did of course our best poses and tried to really create the most beautiful pictures and videos, which I love until today. And we just had so much fun. I didn't even want it to end. I wish I could start every day like that. It was beautiful. Later that day, we went to a greeting party the night before the wedding, and we got to meet the bride-to-be and her husband-to-be. So it was really nice because we hadn't seen them in a really long time, and just finally that reunion was just amazing. And traveling and everything just has been hard due to COVID, so just having one night where it seemed like everything was back to normal was such a relief. So we got to know their families and other friends and had a few drinks and had a really fun time. And the next morning we met with other friends that we also hadn't seen in forever due to our move to Arizona from DC a few months before that. So we met for brunch, and it was just so nice to hang out with our friends again who we hadn't seen in so long, and the feeling was just like we never left. Like there was no day between where we haven't seen each other, and I think those relationships and friendships are just beautiful. After that, we started getting ready for the wedding, which was going to be a rooftop wedding, and it was such a beautiful location. The bride just looked like an angel, and it was the cutest thing when the groom walked down the aisle and threw his hands in the air like, yes! That was probably one of my favorite moments. It was so wholesome. After the ceremony, we started celebrating with drinks and getting ready for dinner. They were so kind and sweet to provide vegan options for me, which were absolutely delicious. After eating, we started dancing with like full bellies and big smiles from one ear to the other, and we just had such a fun night. The family members and friends just gave such deep and beautiful and emotional speeches. They even got me into tears. It was absolutely adorable. After dancing into the night and another change of location, we finally went to bed at like early in the morning. A table bouquet of flowers were gifted to me, and they were so beautiful, and I felt really honored. I did give them to our friend and driver the next morning for his daughter to play with and to appreciate, because how would I take such a beautiful bouquet with me on the plane? Anyway, that had already started our last day in Washington, D.C. We met friends at Busboys and Poets for brunch. After the brunch, we separated, and my husband and I took a nice long walk through DC and through a few museums before we met other dear friends of us for dinner and a few more drinks. Then we had to say our goodbyes. We went to the movies and watched Dune together. After that, we just went home, started packing and getting ready for the flight back the next morning. Before that, we went to go grab a coffee, and that was probably one of the most delicious coffees I've ever had. It was a honey lavender latte. I honestly don't know how to pronounce the place that we went to. Ebenezer's Cafe House? Ebenezer's Coffee House? You'll figure it out. Anyway, after that, we took another nice walk through DC, just taking in those few last moments before going back to the hotel, packing, leaving for our flight back home, which was also incredibly smooth, and we had such an easy time to get back home. It was wonderful. How often does it happen that nothing goes wrong? Seriously, I was surprised. I actually thought that due to the pandemic, things would be even slower and more complicated, but it really wasn't, so that was refreshing. On the way back, we were able to observe this stunning sunset from above the clouds, like, you know, seeing the clouds light up, and it was just beautiful. And when we finally arrived back home, we were incredibly tired from this wonderful weekend. We kept watching The Haunting of Hill House, which we had started, which is a series that I can to 1,000,000% recommend. I'm not a big fan of horror movies or like scary things, but this one is just incredible. It has its scary moments, but it's not that you can't watch. It's rather like very emotional. I don't know if you watched it, comment below, let me know, because I'm really curious what you think about it. As I said, I'm really not someone who watches scary things, but I was so obsessed with it that I watched both seasons twice, and I'm about to watch it the third time again. Anyway, this was already our quick weekend trip. Thank you so much for watching my very first vlog. I know it was pretty short, but I just wanted to see how you like it. If you want me to take you with me on future travels, I would be really excited. Subscribe and like and all those things. And I will see you next time, maybe in the next yoga flow video or workout video, or maybe another cooking video, or if I'm doing anything interesting during this pandemic, maybe for another vlog. Either way, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon.